paper, my political issue was domestic violence. I did this with my myth of the goddess Oya. And so some information I found was that women were more likely to be victims of intimate partner violence, with 85% of domestic abuse victims being women and 15% men. Too many women have been held captive by domestic violence partners, whether through physical abuse, financial abuse, emotional abuse, or a combination of all three. Now, some of the information that I picked for my particular place and time was in Nigeria, Africa, where 25% of the women have gone through some form of domestic violence, and worst forms are battering, are rape, trafficking, homicide. And it's not just the poorest of the poor in the neighborhood, it's also the wealthy women who are going through that same violence, domestic violence in Nigeria. And it says, one of the things that I found interesting was, it says that women from lower incomes are more likely to have access to social services related to domestic violence. Wealthier women do not, because they have this absolute privacy veil that they have to hide behind.
That's very interesting. That's a great point.
The reason why I picked, like I said, domestic violence was because I took Goddess Oya's powers as a the reason why I took her powers is for this particular statement. It says whether this entitlement is something passed down from one generation or the next, or a product of extreme wealth. I took her power as a generation, passed down from a generation, because it's passed down from her spirit mother on down forth. And her husband, who also has powers from generation, used her powers to destroy other cities and humans and so forth and so on.
Questions? One point that I'll say to the camera is use the focus of your political or social issue throughout the paper. Don't feel that you have to give general stats and general background, because that's for another that's for the 5-year paper. Here we're just focused on Nigeria or wherever, or Baltimore or wherever. Don't even try to do generalities.